It's the morning of Thanksgiving, feeling good, got a lot of your prep work done, you're ready to start prepping out this turkey. Gonna be a delicious turkey, great Thanksgiving, and you realize you messed up. You got a frozen turkey, forgot to take the turkey out, forgot to thaw it out, and now what are you gonna do? It is the morning of Thanksgiving, so stores are most likely closed, and any store that is open probably isn't gonna have a turkey the morning of Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna show you what to do here. Now, you could try and defrost it in the sink or the microwave, but I mean, that's a bad idea. The meat will be really tough. It would actually work, but no, don't do that. What you want to do is preheat your oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Go ahead and take all that packaging off of the turkey. You're going to need a little extra time, as if this turkey was nice and thawed out, but it's better late than never. You want to have a turkey for Thanksgiving, obviously, so we're going to get this thing cooked. You obviously want to avoid this disaster in the first place, so take out your turkey a few days before Thanksgiving, or put it in an ice bath with water. Keep the water under 40 degrees Fahrenheit and it'll thaw out much quicker. So just take your roasting pan that you would normally cook the turkey in and place the turkey in that roasting pan. We just want to get this started so we could get in there and get out the turkey neck and the giblet bag and all that stuff that's frozen solid inside of this turkey. And the reason you don't want to put this in the sink to try and defrost it under cold water is you're just going to be splashing around salmonella. So in addition to not having the turkey ready for Thanksgiving, you're just going to give all your guests salmonella. And the microwave will just turn the meat into like a shoe, so don't bother doing that. Just put this turkey in the oven, let it go at least 2 hours, and it'll start to thaw out in the oven. And after 2 hours, give it a check, take it out here. You'll see it's starting to thaw out. There's no more ice on it, but we still can't get in there to get the giblet bag or the turkey neck. Now, if it's a plastic giblet bag, you're gonna have to get it out because you don't want the plastic leaching into the turkey. But I haven't seen a plastic giblet bag in a while. They're pretty much all paper now. So I'm gonna put some water on the bottom of the pan because it's starting to brown a little bit. And now that it's thawed out, we could season this turkey. Put some oil on it, rub that around, and put a generous amount of salt and pepper. Now, because it's frozen, we can't normally do what I like to do is put butter, compound butter under the skin and stuff the turkey with vegetables. We can't do that because we messed up, turkey's frozen, and we just have to get this cooked. So oil, salt, pepper, put it back in the oven, let this go another 2 hours or so, and then we'll check on it. So 4 hours into this cook, and this frozen turkey is starting to look like a Thanksgiving turkey. Now we could get out the turkey neck, the giblet bag, and put that turkey neck in the pan. Put the giblets in the pan because we need as much flavor as we could get, because the meat is not going to be as juicy as it was a nice thawed out turkey with our normal preparation for a Thanksgiving turkey. Back in the oven, and now we're going to cook it to temperature. Let that roast out and let it come to temperature. This took about another 2 hours, like 2 hours and 15 minutes, and now we could start to check it. Looking for at least 160. Thickest part of the breasts are about 155. So this needs a little more time, but we are almost there. So now we can start thinking about browning the skin for this turkey. So I'm going to add in some butter, some onion, carrots, and celery to get the flavor going, because we are going to need to make a really nice flavorful gravy to put over this turkey because it was frozen. The meat's not going to be as tender. It's going to need that gravy for sure. Put everything in there, and then I'm gonna put this back in the oven, bump up the temperature to 400 here, and let that skin brown nicely just like so. It took about another half hour, and this turkey is ready. Went from disaster frozen to nicely cooked. Set that aside, let it rest, and now we can make the gravy. So this frozen bird was 11.5 pounds and took just over 6 hours to give you an idea of the time frame. So I like to put the juices over the burner, let it come to a boil, get off any possible bacteria or any growth like that, and then we could add in the flour. Give that a whisk so we get a nice paste. Don't worry about the lumps because this gravy will be strained off. We just want to get this thickened up, get a paste in there, incorporate all that flour into those juices, and then we could add the stock. Going to start with 1 quart because you want the gravy to be a little bit thinner than you think it should be, because as it cools, it's going to thicken up. So we'll start with 1 quart. If we need to add more, we could always add more. It's easier to add more liquid if you need to thin out the gravy. Let that simmer for a few minutes, and as it simmers, it's going to thicken the gravy. This is why you don't want to add too much flour all at once. You want to see where you're at after a bit, and this is starting to thicken up. I'm going to whisk it a little more, let it thicken a bit more, and this should be okay. Again, you want to make it just a little bit thinner than what you think is thick enough. I like to take a spoon and go in there and get the thickness from that, and then you could taste it, adjust your seasoning as need be. Then grab your strainer and just strain it all off. Again, you don't have to strain it, but we use the giblets. There's a lot of little pieces in there. It's just nicer to strain off the gravy. Nicer finished product. And now we're in the home stretch here of avoiding disaster on Thanksgiving. You don't need to tell anybody that their turkey was frozen and there was a problem. Don't worry about that. Turkey, nice and rested, all the juices redistributed, and now we could carve this thing up. Take off the wings and just cut this turkey like you normally would, and you could present it for Thanksgiving. That's a really important step too. Make sure you let the bird rest. Maybe you started late. I know you had to add a little more time because the turkey was frozen, but don't just take it out of the oven and start cutting into it. The juices will go everywhere and the bird will dry up so quickly, and everything you worked for will just be a waste. Now, like, the meat isn't as juicy as I said if it was a nice thawed out bird, but it is still juicy and it's still very good. But again, just put that gravy on there, make sure the bird rests, and you'll be fine. To let everyone wait a little bit longer, trust me, it'll be worth it. You messed up, you got a frozen turkey? Don't worry, follow this recipe and avoid disaster on Thanksgiving.